What superheroes shows about the time we live in? A lot of people don't realize that superheroes have actually been around since the dawn of humanity. If you look at Greek mythology, Asian folklore, African terror, you can see that there is always these figures, these people, these humans that have superpowers. Hercules with the super strength, Achilles the super soldier, and I can go on. Thor with the power of thunder. Thor is literally in Marvel, and Hercules is also in Marvel. Norse mythology mixed with Greek mythology. These guys were superheroes, but they were the superheroes of the time. Or even if you look at supervillains, in Africa we got Mami Wata, the queen of the ocean. But these people were there to tell a story. Sometimes it's a cautionary tale, and sometimes it's a story of hope. And when you look at the early 90s, for instance, or even late 90s, you could say early 2000s, you can see that the story of a superhero was always about hope, about making a difference, about representing the best of us. And around, I believe, 2010, 2012, they started to witness a shift. A shift in what people wanted to see, or maybe the way people perceive the world. As in, superheroes tend to be idealistic, but people wanted to see something more closer to reality. And that's when the birth of one of my favorite archetypes of hero was born, the anti-heroes. And the anti-heroes got the mix of the heroes and the villain. They represent the perfect duality of man. They're overall good, but sometimes they may take some morally loose ways to attain their means, to attain their objectives. For instance, Wolverine can be classified as an anti-hero. Venom, most definitely an anti-hero. These people are appealing because we can see ourselves in them. And I feel like this genre got so popular in 2011, 2012, 2017. It got so popular that movie studios started turning our heroes into borderline anti-heroes. Does that make sense? I know you've seen it. Man of Steel was a good guy, but you could see how they tried to make it darker. The Batman, make him edgy. Batman has always been edgy, but they made him a little extra edgy, a little extra dark in the Batman. Why is that? These studios are trying to anticipate what people want to see. And at that time, it was quite reflective of what we wanted to what people were on, the page people were on. But then something weird started happening. The George Floyd events. The George Floyd events was a moment that I think, in terms of media, in terms of general consciousness, created a big shift. Because now, all of a sudden, everybody was supporting George Floyd, which was good. But all of a sudden, everybody was woke. Everybody was an activist. Everybody was trying to be politically correct. Everybody was on edge. And that was reflected in the movies. Now, movies were not anymore about our entertainment and staying comic book accurate. Now, movies had an agenda. Such and such person had to be black. We need a black this, we need a black that. Or we need to push a feminist agenda. Such and such, the lead has to be a female. The lead has to be here a female when it's supposed to be a male. And obviously on paper it looks good. But when you're trying to push that to the core audience of comic books and whatnot, it's not really going to work, because we're not here for politics. Sometimes it's good when it's possible to do it. For example, making Black Panther black, it makes sense. But making Superman black does not make sense. Does that, you understand what I mean? And I feel like Marvel was one of the franchises that suffered from this the most. DC as well, but Marvel most definitely did. Now, when we are in this era, the late 2020s, I mean, mid 2020s, 2022, no, 2025 is when it happened, because Marvel was at an all-time low. 2025, when you look at the main conflict that's happening in the world right now, the nation that's been oppressed, nations, but there's one nation that's really being oppressed right now. You know who I'm talking about. When you look at that and you look at the blatant evil, people want hope. I mean, look at Superman. Look at the latest movie. Bro was so earnest. He was good. He was what we all aspire to be, without being too cheesy, but just a little bit, just a little cringe, just a little cheesy. His mannerism, his willingness to save everyone, even the smallest animal. That little squirrel, the dog. Come on, man. I mean, who didn't leave the movie wanting to do good? This is what people need right now, in this moment, in this era. This is what we are looking for. We don't need it to be realistic. We just need to believe. Even when you look at the Fantastic Four, my favorite character in that movie was Johnny, because of the improvement they've made on Johnny from the previous Fantastic Fours. Yes, he's still a little bit arrogant and is a bit of a womanizer, but Johnny is willing to put his life on the line at any time for the greater good. It's not all about him. He's actually trying to be a hero for real. Do you know what I mean? He's trying to be good, to uplift, and to save his family. Marvel and DC are starting something amazing, man. Superheroes are supposed to represent the best in us, what we all aspire to be like. When we look at superheroes and the struggles they go through, we see that they go through what we go through, just on a higher magnitude. But if they can overcome those things, those giant, enormous things, we can overcome the little things, not so little things that we go through in our day-to-day lives. And that's why I think superheroes are really important for the culture, for the masses in general, to give us hope and courage. Yes. But what do I know? Hey, I'm Tenorman. I put a lot of time and effort in these videos, so if you like it, make sure you subscribe and you watch the next video. Also, I would really appreciate if you could go down in the description and donate to support Palestine and some other causes around the world. That's it. Like, subscribe and share.